Alright guys, you saw the title from this video. In this video, in Age of History 3, I'm going to be giving you guys an in-depth tutorial about the game. And pretty much how to just do amazing in it and like kind of just explaining everything about it. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and sub, as I would really help the channel a ton. If you really enjoyed this video, you can also drop a super thanks. And another thing guys, like, if it's difficult to hear my voice, just turn on captions if I'm speaking too fast or if, like, the music is too loud, although there really isn't any music. Anyways, guys, now, without further ado, let's just begin. So, basically, guys, when you open Age of History 3, if you're playing on mobile, very important thing, do not choose the 13,000 provinces map. If you choose this, your game is just going to crash instantly. Do not choose this. So now, guys, let's just say that you've chosen the 5,000 province map. It usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes for my game to open, but some people have had it take, like, 5 minutes. But basically, guys, now, after the game opens, you'll be greeted with, like, this title screen, pretty much. Now, what you can do is that you can choose New Game. And when you choose New Game, what's going to happen is I'll give you all these options of, like, all these years. And, like, pretty much, you can just choose any year you want, pretty much. That's kind of it. I mean, you can play in World War I or World War II, like, if you feel like it. And, like, for this video, we're going to be using the modern world. So, you just click to the modern world, pretty much. Now we just wait for the game to load. And usually this part will take about maybe like 20 seconds to load, sometimes 30. But now, guys, that we've gone past the loading screen, like, let me just wait for it. Okay. Come on, it really can't take that long. Come on. Please. Dude. Wow. Okay, finally. Okay, guys, now that we've gone past the loading screen, now we can actually talk about, like, the game. So pretty much, guys, what we can do is that we can kind of just choose whichever country that we want. Like, at the bottom, you can just choose any country, pretty much. Like, you can also just drag this as well, if you want. And now, guys, we're going to be talking about something very important in the game. So let's say, guys, that, like, for this video, I guess I'll just use where I'm from, Egypt. And what you want to do, guys, like, the first thing before you start the game is that you want to click settings, okay, guys? Now, settings will let you do a lot of things, pretty much. Now, for example, guys, there's this feature called Fog of War. Now, I think we all know what this is, pretty much, that the armies of other nations are hidden. If you don't want to deal with this and you just want to be able to just see their army, turn it off. Now, guys, let's choose the difficulty. Now, unlike Age of History 2 and Age of History 1, the difficulty in this game actually matters a lot. Now, normally, you just start with normal, which just puts everything pretty much normal, and if a coalition happens, it will happen when your aggressive expansion reaches 200, but we'll talk about that later. Now, let's say, guys, you want a challenge, okay? Now, guys, the difficulties are very easy, normal, hard, very hard, and legendary. Let's say you want, like, the maximum challenge, legendary. It will decrease a lot of economy from you, and it will cost a lot more to recruit. It will take a lot longer to recruit as well, and a coalition will form when you pass 100 in aggressive expansion, pretty much. Let's say you want to deal with, like, an easier game, like very easy, for example. Coalitions will just strip not happen, and you will gain a lot more money than usual, and it will take almost no time to recruit. And I don't think you even have a regiments limit in this variant. There just isn't even one. And if you want to disable events, I mean, I haven't really experienced any events when I had this option on. Just turn it off. And let's say, guys, you don't want to deal with nations fighting each other, so what you can do is that you can just decrease the AI aggressiveness. Usually I like to put it at minus 220 because it just guarantees that they're not going to do anything. So let me just do that. This is literally just the setting I use for all my videos. And you can also go to sandbox mode if you just want to summon in anything, although we are playing like an actual game, like an actual run. And without further ado, let's just begin. So now, guys, you're just going to hit the play button, pretty much. And what you can do, guys, is that you can choose your rivals, okay? Now, usually when you choose the most powerful nation, you get the most legacy points. And I finally understand what legacy points do, guys. If we click here, pretty much you can try to improve your economy, try to improve your diplomacy, try to improve your ability to invade. And that's pretty much what the legacy points do. And another thing, guys. Now, let's say we want to deal with invading. So now, guys, as we can see, I have my army here, right? This is the army that, like, I just spawned in with, pretty much. And let's say I want to invade Cyprus. What you do, guys, is that you just click the move button. And then you just click to the ocean province near them. By the way, guys, another important feature, you can speed up and slow down the game. Like, for example, right now, the speed is just set to 1 hour 5. That means for every, like, tick, it will just, like, go 1 day in the game. However, you can set up to 5, and then the game will go really fast. By the way, guys, when you are rivals with nations, what happens is that you literally can't improve relations with them, pretty much. And I don't think you can even trade with them. But anyways, guys, now, what we do, for example, now, our relation with Cyprus is already a minus 20. So what we can do is that if we want to invade them, we need to make our relation a minus 30. So we're going to damage relations. By the way, if we want friends, we should probably improve relations with a lot of nations. However, it will cost diplomacy points, so you shouldn't improve relations too much, unless you know what you're doing. So now, guys, we're just going to wait till Cyprus becomes minus 30 with us. Come on, it really can't take that long. Okay, and now, guys, we're going to declare war. Now, it costs 10 diplomacy points. And now, guys, we're going to move our army to their army. And now, although we have the much higher number, yes, we will win. There is something very important about army, like, in this game, pretty much. Something very important is that you should always do something, which is, like, building military academies. Now, what I mean, guys, now, when we click government, we can build things like a military academy. A military academy, if you manage to get this thing to like 4 out of 14, your army is going to become very powerful. If you get to like 8 out of 14, your army is going to be extremely powerful. Now 14 out of 14, your army is just pretty much unstoppable. Like, no joke, guys. If we get this unit of 19 divisions to 14 out of 14, we could probably be able to defeat an army that's with no military academies at like 100 units. Like, really, it's just overpowered pretty much. Another important thing, guys, is your manpower. Like, for example, guys, here we have manpower, okay? Now, there is obviously a limit depending on our population. So if you conquer lands with more population, generally it will increase your manpower. As we can see, it is actually going up, and the reason it's going up is because we conquered Cyprus. And please, guys, let me deal with something. Alright, guys, I'm back. I dealt with something pretty important. And by the way, guys, when you get your army destroyed, really quickly, important thing, like, we were at 19 divisions, like, when we invaded, we were at 21. It will cost money to, like, rebuild your divisions. Yeah, guys, now that we've, like, taken Cyprus, there's something very important that we should deal with, though. When you take a land, whatever you do not forget to assimilate it. And the reason you should assimilate it is because, number one, it can rebel if you don't assimilate it. And number two, you're not going to gain a lot of money unless you assimilate. Like, for example, guys, let me show you. Like, this province over here, it's 0.57 gold. You can see over here. This province, because we don't have it assimilated at all, even though its value is much more, it's only 0.2. But once we assimilate it, we're going to have this province maybe be at something like 1, which is going to be amazing for us. So now, guys, let's just say that, like, what can we do? Let me think. Okay, so let's just say that we want to improve our economy. What we can do, for example, is that we can enter the economy sector. And now, guys, you can deal with 3 things, okay? You can deal with your army, research, and income. Now, I have noticed something, and I do recommend this, guys. With taxes, just set it to the lowest. The reason I set it to the lowest, guys, is because it decreases unrest, and it basically just means that a very important thing that will happen, guys, even if you don't assimilate or core a territory, like even if we don't assimilate Cyprus, what's going to happen is that if we have the taxes at low, they will never rebel. I'm not joking. They will just never rebel. And look at the difference. We're only gaining 1 extra coin. Or in other words, it's pretty much useless. However, if you do set to the maximum, you'll gain, again, like 1 extra coin, although it kind of depends on which country you're playing with. It depends on the population. Alright, guys, I'm back. I do something personal again, but now we can actually continue the video. So basically, guys, something very important with taxation is that another thing, you should probably not raise it to this, because what will happen, guys, is that unrest will form. And what is unrest? Basically, the population of territory that you have will rebel. And not just territory that you conquer, even our mainland territory. Like, for example, guys, we can check the unrest over here. What we're going to do is that we're just going to turn on the game. As we can see, the unrest is literally going up as the game is going. And if it reaches something like 50%, there will be a rebellion, and we will have to crush it. And if you don't crush a rebellion like 10 in-game years, what will happen is that they'll just straight up get independence. And now, guys, let me show you another important thing. Okay, so now, guys, generally, what I'd recommend is putting the taxes to low, because really, you're not going to get much if you put it to the maximum. Like, you're only going to get like an extra... Even if you control the entire world, you might get an extra like 30 coins, which is basically worthless. Another thing, guys, if you decrease your taxes, what will happen is that generally your research will go up and your legacy will go up. However, if you put it to the maximum, your research and legacy will go down. Your legacy might like just go down by like a half entirely. So overall, it's just generally not worth it. Just put it at the lowest. And now, guys, let's talk about army maintenance. Now, if you put your army maintenance very low, what's going to happen is that your manpower is going to crash, and your army is going to be very weak, and you can't really, like, recruit that quick. So generally, if you can afford it, you should put it to the maximum. I mean, it only took an extra coin from me, so I'd say it's worth it. Now, research, again, only takes another extra coin. I do this because, trust me, it's really not worth doing this, especially with your military. So generally, we're just going to put it to the maximum, okay, guys? And we're going to put the taxation to the lowest, generally. And now, guys, another thing is that you can take a loan if your economy is doing really bad, but really I wouldn't recommend it because later on it can totally just destroy your economy. So generally don't do it unless you're like in the negatives and you're in a war, pretty much. And now, guys, let's talk about the next important thing. As we can see, Yemen has offered us an alliance. Now, basically, guys, what happens is that when a country offers you an alliance, you can only have, like, one alliance, pretty much, okay? Just one alliance with any country. Now, as we can see, Yemen isn't really allies with anyone. Although, for example, basically every other country has an alliance. So, yeah, we're probably not going to find anyone else to ally with, so I guess we'll just ally with them. And what happens, guys, is that if you're allies with someone, if you go to war with someone, you can call them in. Let me show you. As we can see, wait, let me just see who has a bad relation with us. Okay, I guess we'll invade Lebanon. Anyways, okay, guys. So what we're going to do is that we're going to send an insult. We're going to send our army. And now we're going to call in Yemen. Now we're going to declare war. And by the way, guys, now we're going to stand outside their capital. So if they try to attack us, we destroy their army. And now, guys, we don't even have to invade. We can just wait for Yemen to invade for us. And as we can see, they're taking territory. Now wait for it. Let's just send our army to help them. And now, wait for it. They've surrendered. And now, guys, in the demands, with our war score, we're just going to take everything because we can. And now, guys, we're going to assimilate. So now, guys, as we can see, if you are, like, at war with someone and you have an ally, you can call them in. And no joke, even if they do all of the work, like, all the fighting, pretty much, yeah, you can still demand everything as long as you're the one that declared war. Although, sometimes they may call for your assistance. Well, not always, but sometimes. And I think it will put you at war. Like, for example, if Yemen goes to war with Eritrea, I think we will be put at war with them. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, but you don't, yeah, you can try to get, like, a peace deal immediately. Although, guys, now, let's talk about peace deals, okay? Let me show you all something very important in peace deals, okay, guys? Now, we're going to declare war on Northern Cyprus, okay? Now, wait for it. Okay. And now, guys, we're going to call in Yemen, okay, guys? Oh, wait for it. Okay. Now, guys, as we can see here, this is our war score. We have 0% right now, and 0% means that basically nothing's happened. Now, guys, if you destroy their army, generally it will go by like 5%. And what you need, guys, is if you're at a 25% war score, you can make a white peace. And a white peace is pretty much just that no one gets anything. So, like, if you're doing, like, really bad in a war, or, like, for example, let's just say you accidentally declared war on someone. Like, let's say we accidentally declared war on Russia, but we occupied a part of them to make it 25%, and we know our army is going to get destroyed if we keep fighting them. We can demand a white peace, and therefore no one wins anything, and you save yourself from getting totally destroyed. However, if you are at a war score of 90%, like 90% occupation, or you, like, destroy their army totally and you've occupied, like, 70% of them, you can actually demand territory. Now, right now, we're at 0. So what we're going to do is that we're going to invade. Now, we've destroyed their army. And now we're at 100%. Now, we only really need 90, but we can still demand it anyways, so we'll do it. Now we're going to assimilate. And now, guys, let me show you, like, how overpowered military academies are. By the way, when you build them, you actually gain a little bit in economy. So basically, guys, we're just going to keep building military academies. By the way, the reason we lost money there for a moment, and again, is because, our army got destroyed, pretty much. Now, guys, we're going to send our troops to invade. Well, we need someone with a massive army, so I can just show you guys, like, how overpowered military academies really are. Not Turkey, because, yeah, our military academy isn't that powerful. I mean, fine, I guess we'll invade Pakistan, just to show you guys, like, how powerful military academies really are. So we're going to send our army here. Now we're going to wait. Now, guys, generally what will happen is that, like, for example, as we can see, they have 32 units. Oh, by the way, we can sign a defensive pact. Okay, I guess we will. Anyways, guys, now, a defensive pact pretty much just means that if we get attacked, Saudi Arabia will defend us, also Yemen. Although we can't, like, call them in as an ally because they're not technically our ally. So basically, guys, let's just say that now we're going to eventually go to war with Pakistan. So we're going to try to destroy our relations. By the way, let's sign a non-aggression pact with Libya, because why not? Okay, and now, guys, they have Kazakhstan as their ally, so, yeah, we're definitely going to need Yemen's help. And actually, yeah, we need our military academy to maybe be, like, at level 8 for this to work. However, generally it can work at this level. Okay. And now, guys, we're going to declare war. Now, we're going to call in Yemen. And we're going to wait for Yemen's help. Now we're gonna send our troops. And now... Now. So now, see guys, now, generally what was going to happen is that if we did not improve our military academies, our army, instead of being, as we can see now, at 18, because we built military academies, our army became instead... well, no, if we didn't build them, we were going to be at like 6. Okay, guys, pretty much. So military academies just make your army a lot more powerful. And by the way, guys, when their army runs away, chase their army, because if you capture it again, they'll be far weaker, like 10 times weaker, and you can just destroy their army pretty much. So we're going to follow their army. Now we're going to destroy it. And now, guys, their army is totally gone. They literally cannot stop our invasion. And now, guys, we need to deal with Kazakhstan. So we're going to send our army to try to destroy them, because they will try to liberate Pakistan. So we're going to try to destroy their army. And now Pakistan is trying to build an army. However, we'll still keep invading really quickly. And now we're just going to invade. And by the way, guys, the capital is usually the hardest part of the nation to siege of all, because look, it takes a really long time generally. However, now we've taken it. And now, guys, now, if we want, we can get a white piece, although we're winning by so much that getting a white piece, it doesn't make any sense. So now that we've taken this, we've reached 91%, although we only need 90. So now we can demand. Now, guys, now here's something very important about the war score. We don't have enough war score to annex them. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to take as much as we can. And this is just about all that we can demand. So we're going to take it. Now, guys, we've taken all this population, 73 million. Now, our manpower, as you can see over here, it's going up a lot. And by the way, guys, unrest isn't building because our taxes are set to low. However, if we set them to average... Wait for it. Trust me, it'll happen eventually. Well, usually unrest will build up, although, I mean, maybe we have to wait a longer. I'm not really sure. Anyways, guys, like, what I mean, for example, is that, Okay, guys, basically we're just going to, like, assimilate this province so we can at least make more money, okay? Because maybe they won't rebel, but, yeah, we do need money. So if we assimilate, we will increase the money. And we can recruit from this area much more. And now, guys, please give me a moment. Alright, guys, I'm back. I dealt with something personal again. Anyways, guys, now let's just continue the video. So basically, guys, something very important I should mention, again, about the economy, is that as we can see, guys, here's our treasury. Now, our treasury is pretty much just our economy. And as we can see, guys, it says out of 6,512. Now, what does this mean? Pretty much, if we reach 6,512 gold, we will quite literally just not be able to gain any more, pretty much. And raising taxes does raise it, but it only raises it by like a maximum like 50 coins, so overall it's really not worth it. Considering the unrest that will build up in your nation, I really wouldn't recommend it. Like, unless you're like totally broke, really you shouldn't do it. And yeah, I guess we kind of just talk about like mainly the invading part. By the way, guys, another thing, if you want to recruit a new unit, you click onto manpower. Now you click whatever you want. Now listen, guys, by the way, you can see the attack power and the defense power and the movement speed over here. And generally, the infantry unit is the best one, like for the front line. I pick it over the mechanized infantry because it's just higher rank. So let's say, guys, that we want to build a unit to get ready to invade Sudan. We're going to build over here. And we can save up pretty much. But as we can see, guys, it costs 11 gold per unit. And keep in mind, guys, do not just build a unit of infantry, because if you do that, that will not work at all. What will happen is that this is just your front line. So you also need some rear support. So you're also going to probably get some tanks, because they are better and they are cheaper than the fighter planes. So we're going to build them as well. However, guys, remember that if you do increase your army, as we can see right now, my economy is doing really bad. And now, guys, we're going to get some support. And now, I would pick the planes over the howitzer because this one just costs way too much, and it's barely better in attack, and it's not even better in defense. But this one is like almost half the price, so I'd pick it. And now, guys, that we have a unit of 30, what we're going to do is that we can recruit a general. Now, guys, generally just pick the one with better attack and better defense. This one is the best, so let's just pick them. And now, we're going to invade Sudan. So now, guys, we're going to bring our army over here. We're going to click move. Now, we're going to click on our province. Now, let's just wait. We can go through Yemen because they are our ally. And now, guys, we're going to call in Yemen because we're going to also go war with Chad. Now, guys, okay? In the main game, even if you defeat their ally, you won't actually get any territory from them, although there are mods that do add this. So if you want to do that, I mean, yeah, you can download the mod. And now, guys, okay, their units are only 16 and 13, so 29 in total. Or in other words, this unit alone could probably defeat them. Not our units of 30,000, 21, because, you know, we have Baldward to actually get military academies. So let's just invade. By the way, guys, I like to like plan my invasion by pausing the game. Now we're going to speed up. By the way, guys, the value of the territory that you're taking actually depends on how quick you'll take it. Like, for example, guys, let's say that someone invaded us, okay? Let's say they invaded this province. This province literally has, like, no population, no value. They'll probably take it almost instantly. However, if they try to invade our capital, it could take a long time because there's a massive population and there's a massive value. So, like, for example, guys, let me just show you. Like, for example, if we try to take their capital... No. By the way, guys, the amount of units you have also decides, like, how fast you can invade a province. Now, see, guys, we invaded this province almost instantly. Now, their capital, it's actually taking a really long time because the value is massive. And, yeah, our units just aren't enough to invade it that quickly, pretty much. Now, guys, we're going to keep invading. And now, we're going to finish them off. Now, guys, we've reached 100%, although we only needed 90, but still, you can keep going, although it won't really do much. Now, guys, listen. You can demand a lot of things, like you can demand military access. This I'm not really sure. This also not really sure. But listen, guys, generally, the best one you should do, like, generally, is to just take territory from them and maybe demand war reparations. The others are pretty useless, if I'm being totally honest. You can probably just invade them. Although I am playing on the very easy difficulty, so maybe if you play on the difficulty, like, hard, it actually matters. So generally, guys, we're just going to do this. We're going to take all these provinces, and we're going to take provinces until, like, the point where we can demand war reparations, because, yeah, our economy is not doing amazing. So we're going to demand it. Now we're going to keep taking, and that's just about it. So now, guys, we're going to enforce our demands. And now, we are gaining an extra 3 coins. It's not a lot, but if you're broke, yeah, trust me, it can help a lot. And now, guys... I'm going to show you all how to improve your economy, pretty much. By the way, guys, when you level up in the game, generally what will happen is that you can also get another level of land reform. However, yeah, you need your technology to go ahead, so yeah, you just need to be in the game longer. A monetary policy, you can also get to maximum. Although, yeah, you just need to wait a little longer as well. As we can see, our research is only at 31%, so we can't even do this yet. But anyways, guys, let's just build even more military academies. And by the way, guys, we can also improve our capital city, which basically just means we'll gain a little bit of economy and a little bit more research. And military academy for generals, it just makes generals more powerful. Although, to be honest, trust me, military academy is so much better than military academy for generals. Like, you're not going to get a lot from this compared to this. Like, this 100% aim for this first. Unless you just have extra money. And the Supreme Court feature, it just decreases, like, the amount of money you'll lose. This is very useful. Trust me, you're going to lose a lot less money from pretty much everything that you do in the game. And now, guys, let me show you something. Improving your economy. We're going to click economy, and let's say, guys, that I want to make this province more valuable, okay, guys? Like this province that we have. By the way, guys, when you do invade a nation, you get a peace treaty. Like right now, we couldn't invade Pakistan or Kazakhstan because we had a peace treaty with them, but now we can because the peace treaty has expired. And by the way, guys, when you get more and more powerful, you can make more and more demands as you keep going, as you invade. Like, for example, guys, let's say we were playing as... Belarus, okay? Like, let me just show you all. Like, let's say we're playing as Belarus, okay, guys? And let's say that we decided that we were going to invade Lithuania. Because Belarus is not ranked, like, that high in the world internationally, like, in the game, even. Well, what happens is that maybe we could only demand, like, this, pretty much. Like, not all of them, but, like, a massive portion. But let's say we were playing as Poland. Because Poland is, like, far more powerful, we would be able to demand, like, all their territory. Like, that's pretty much how the game works, pretty much. Like, the more powerful you get, the more you can demand, and so on. Pretty much. I really hope this makes sense. Anyways, guys, now we're going to click economy. Let me find it. And now, guys, let's say that I want to make this province, my capital, more, like, economic. I'm going to click on it. And, yeah, guys, this also costs legacy. So now, guys, as we can see, the economy, we're going to click again. It's now plus 14. Now we're going to just spam everywhere. And trust me, it will go up. This is a way to, like, passively gain economy. And by the way, guys, when you don't invade nations, what will happen is that your diplomacy, pretty much, as we can see, from additional income, if you don't invade nations and they don't hate you too much, you can gain a lot of economy from that. Like, for example, guys, if we were just totally invading everyone, and let's just say we took no land, we'd actually be in the negatives. So that's generally what it means. And now, guys, another important thing. Government. Well, no, wait, guys, please give me a moment. Alright, guys, I'm back. Now, and a very important thing that I should mention, guys. Now, here is your aggressive expansion, okay, guys? This pretty much just means, like, how close you are to having a coalition done on you. And basically, guys, now, because I'm playing on very easy, a coalition, although it says it will happen past 100, it will not happen, okay, guys? Because I am playing on very easy mode. However, if I were to be playing on normal, even though it says past 100, it would actually be past 200, and then a coalition will happen. Now, for anyone that doesn't know what a coalition is, pretty much every nation that I border will go to war with me. Like, that's literally what's going to happen. I'm not joking. Israel, Palestine, Libya, Chad, Sudan, Ethiopia. Well, no, not Ethiopia because we're not bordering them. And Eritrea, they will all go to war with us. If the aggressive expansion were to reach, like, past 200 in normal mode. Now, in hard mode and very hard mode, I think it's past 100. But in legendary, I know for sure it's past 100. So pretty much, guys, to decrease the aggressive expansion, the only thing you can do, no joke, is to just leave the game going. That's literally it. As we can see, we have to wait literally 1 in-game year just for this to go down. That's literally it. Now, it will go down, trust me. See, it went down. It only goes down by 2.25 though, so yeah, if you want to like invade everyone really quickly, especially like if you want to make a video like me, I made a video, you know guys, like how I make videos on Age of History 3. Trust me, you're going to want to use very easy difficulty because really dealing with a coalition, it's just so annoying, and what I recommend pretty much is to just like pretty much just have the feature turned off by just swapping to very easy difficulty. And now guys, pretty much that's it. Like all this extra stuff, it's not extremely important. And again, guys, this game is pretty new, and there's only like one other tutorial I could find. So yeah, this tutorial may not be like a total coverage of the game, but it's covered at least like 90% of it. I really hope this video helped. And anyways, guys, yeah, this is the whole video. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and a sub. Comment down below if you have any questions about the game. I will be sure to answer them. And yeah, if there's anything like extremely important that I may have missed, please comment it down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Bye, guys.